Can I say that?
Oh, no, absolutely
I can't
not.
say that?
No.
Oh.
I am prepared to behave like a model inmate, and I feel I no longer pose a threat.
Like, what have you done with the place?
Sadly, it's starting to feel like home in here.
Yes, of course. By virtue of the fact that you have a different sensibility, a different cultural sensibility. I was talking to the ladies who very kindly did some makeup and hair fixes on me this morning, and they were talking about the content in Germany. And I don't know that there's ever been this kind of thing. You have Amazon, but Netflix presents a new opportunity, I think, for the German viewership.
I agree. I mean, I'm so curious to see what elements of the show, different countries and different cultures, latch onto and enjoy,
Spark, too.
yeah, what they
What will
spark
capture
with.
the imagination of the German people? It's hard to tell.
It's very exciting. Yeah.
It's an old and very sophisticated culture that you have. So I think that you might appreciate the fact that this is starkly American, right?
Right? Yeah.
Representing starkly American characters.
I mean, I was so taken by the way the really brilliant Genji Kohan dealt with female characters, and that there were so many women who were right in the middle of their own stories and whose stories were being told individually and in a very dignified, holistic way. It was really exciting to me.
I've read a lot in my lifetime. A lot of scripts, a lot of books, and I know the real thing when I see it. And her writing is extraordinary. She simply does that thing that is great. It is inimitably great. She has an ownership and an imagination that almost surpasses expression. I don't know how to put it into words to articulate her kind of genius, but I only was given 2 pages to audition with, and I understood immediately that this was marvelous, marvelous writing. So it's all in place for us. Do you see, Thomas? She does indeed, she does. No, I didn't need to do a filter. I walked into that kitchen set the first day and I just knew I was home. It was great. And it's so fabulous. The sets are just marvelous, aren't they?
Incredible.
And, you know, that's Red's domain. So that is my home in there. Unlike some of the others, you have to sort of wander around finding places to go and to be useful. But I'm terribly useful in the kitchen. So I'm happy there.
Absolutely. I think that that's really where the show lives and breathes, and that's where the heart of the show beats, sort of, is in the pulling the curtain back on all these unique and dynamic women and their relationships, you know?
There's no question that Piper is leading us through. That is without question. But there's also no question that Genji intends this to be an exploration of every single character that she writes for. And as actresses, I think that that's sometimes difficult for us. We love to be important, right? That's the nature of the actor. And I think when we're not, it's becoming clear to all of us that this isn't about anybody being particularly important. It's the importance of the whole, which is actually very liberating.
It's very liberating, yeah. It's very interesting. It's like
once you grasp it, right? Yeah. Right.
I think any political commentary is tangential. I think that it springs from the stories that we're telling about individual women and individual characters. And I think that that's really, I mean, just that's my opinion, that it's sort of, that the any sort of political stance comes from getting to know these women intimately and seeing their stories as individuals, and the sympathy and empathy that is gleaned from seeing someone authentically, and the impact that has, I think, is incredible. I think that's what storytelling at its best can do.
Or are you referring, Thomas, to the corruption which we often
It's
assume
the
is
second
that does
season.
exist, of course.
Goes a little bit deeper into
Of
that.
course.
They're all
Indeed,
still
there
in
are
prison.
elements of corruption that you see throughout.
And that is, I'm saying that is it's honest. It's
And
true.
That's politically, extremely. Well, of course I agree. I mean, this is representative of that fact, if nothing else, right? There are 50 great parts in Orange is the New Black, and 50 more to come, I have no doubt.
Oh, absolutely. I think also there's more space in TV right now. There's more freedom. There's
More
less
content, yeah.
There's more. There just by virtue of there being more platforms. There's more room for more people to have their stories told, and also it seems to me it's a place that there's more risks are being taken, which I think allows for unprecedented characters. And a lot of women. Female characters that are this interesting and complicated are unprecedented. They just haven't really seen them yet. And whereas
Because it's always been assumed that they're not interesting, right?
and that there's no audience for them.
That there's no audience for the Latina community, for the women of color, for a Russian peasant, right, of a certain age. Why would that be even remotely interesting? But the fact is, it's wildly interesting. We want to relate. It's humanity. This is the universal truth, right?
Followed into the jungle.
That's what I'm talking about. See, you and me, we gonna be friends. I'll give it to me.
I'm sorry.
Executioner! We're in the middle of the third season, I can say that.
Dawn?